Welcome, guys, to episode 8 now, which is crazy. I'm flying through these, and today I've got a very special guest from Ireland, Sinead Hegarty. What's going on, Sinead?
What's happening? I'm a little bit hungover today, but I'm a bit better than I was this morning, so
Where were you
my mind's a bit more clear.
You were getting boozed at home?
Yeah, like we've been doing those Zoom quizzes. So we do like a Zoom quiz, but they're really funny because we actually do the quizzes like on each other in our hometowns, and like some of the questions are just so funny, and like we just bring up old pictures from like the past, and they're like, what are we holding here and stuff. I'm always holding a bottle of Frosty Jacks.
Yeah.
White lightning stuff, and like
Yeah.
they're just putting up just a bit of crack, and then like we play like games where we sync it. So bad, turned a bit crazy, where I was like, I lost the quiz, so I had to do 30 sit-ups with a bottle of gin between my legs and take a sip every time.
I'll tell you what, you Irish, yeah, you can drink. And I've seen you out. We've been out together, and you can drink me on the table any day of the week. I mean, I'm a terrible drinker. But
you're shy.
I am. And you know what's mad? Everyone always they always put it on me like, oh, you look like you always drink all the time on your stories. But I'm like, no, I only kind of show you guys what I want to show you. So I could be having 4 drinks. No, I can't, because when I get to I like being tipsy and wavy, but when I get to the stage where I can't control what's happening, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm the same. I used to be like that. I used to be really, really like drink until I pass out. And then like I got to that stage now where when I just get to like, can I curse?
Yeah, do what you want.
Fuck shit. Yeah, when I get too fucked, right, I literally just sneaky fade. It's called Darth Vader. So you literally just don't tell anyone, and you just fade off. You just go. You can't tell anyone because I'm going to try and keep you there. Darth Vader.
All right. Okay.
I've got all these little things.
Oh no. All right. Before we move on, this is a question I ask anyone that jumps on. What is your Nando's order?
My Nando's order is butterfly chicken.
Yeah.
With the super grains and the mash.
What? No chips?
No chips.
What?
But I always, if I'm going on a date or someone's there, I'm like, get chips so then I can eat your chips.
No, see, you would be, and this is why we wouldn't date, because
you need a side for the girlfriend. Like I'm that person who says that she's going to be healthy, but will eat everyone else's food.
I can see that when you said that, but I would be the guy going, no. I'd be like Joey from Friends. Diren doesn't share food, you know.
But, I know, but I'm so good at persuading people.
Listen, that's because no. You're good at persuading other people. You're not good at persuading Diren.
We'll see about that.
Not yet. Okay, so where are you at the moment?
So I'm in Ireland right now, with my parents. I was in Thailand when this all kicked off.
Yeah. And
had to make the big decision, and I mean, that week of making that decision was probably the hardest week of my life. Oh my god, because there was so much stress going on, and then like because everything was closing. Well, in Thailand there wasn't that much of a fuss going on, so like everyone back at home, because people were sending me horrible messages like, you're not social distancing, but like because we didn't know what was going on like back home, so I was like, oh my god. And then when I seen Siobhan like going from Bali, I was like, shit, this is serious, I'm gonna have to get home. And like, I'm good job I did get home, because everything did close and there's no restaurants or anything, and we lived in hotels, so there was just we would have been starving. So I'm glad I got home for sure.
But you know what's mad, like when Siobhan, because I was with Siobhan in Bali, innit, and I was telling her, I'm like, listen Siobhan, I've just booked a flight, come with me to Dubai, and then you can fly from Dubai to Dublin or wherever. And she was like, no, I'm just going to stay isolated in my home. And I was like, listen, Siobhan, if anything does happen in Bali, from what I heard, there was only 30 isolation beds in like Canggu or the whole of Bali or something. And I'm thinking, there is no way in hell that is not like, it's just not the right place to be when something like this is happening, especially when the whole island's economy is pretty much run by like tourism.
Yeah.
So they're not exactly going to tell us to leave.
Bali looks like it's just going on.
Yeah, I know, but it's crazy because I think they're like, because there's always all these rumors like, oh, the heat kills the virus
Yeah.
and all of this stuff, and I'm like, who comes up with this stuff? That's just a prime example of like how rumors get spread, you know?
Yeah, like it's so strange. Like it's kind of going on normal. Like Australia's fine,
Yeah,
but us over here are just getting
yeah,
hit like a bang. But
yeah. Where so
I'm in the country, like I am in the back end of nowhere, so there's not really much around me anyway. To
that's what I was gonna ask. Whereabouts is your parents' home, and like, did you go to school and everything around where you are now?
so yeah, so I live like literally bunking. Like there's all there is fields and cows and stuff like that. So I live like in the middle of nowhere, like farm.
Yeah,
So and then I went to school in the nearest town, which would be like half an hour away. But yeah, I went to school. Like I'm in a real like it's very Irish here. Like we went to an
okay.
all girls Catholic school run by nuns. We walk on the left
Really?
side of the
What you?
yeah.
What you? You?
I
No, not you, mate. No way.
was the number one altar server. I was an altar server for 7 years. I served the priest.
No way.
Can you go? Yeah, so I was like, I grew up very Catholic style, like go to mass all the time, like
Yeah,
very all girls school stuff like that. I was a wee bit of a rebel, I will
yeah.
admit.
I can tell, yeah, I can tell. And I think that's why I like you, because I feel like there's similarities between you and me where you're cheeky.
Yeah,
And
we're
you,
just like we rebels, but we have that family. We're very
yes,
family oriented, me and you. So like
yeah,
you would sort of do anything for your family, and like same as mine, and like, do you know what I
exactly,
mean? Because
exactly.
people always what was it? Yeah, Siobhan always says that about you,
Yeah,
like that you're very family oriented, and like I could probably call you if like I was stuck somewhere, and you would probably be like, okay, I'll come get you. Where are you?
yeah,
You're
hundred
that kind of
percent,
person.
100%, 100%, 100%. Because I feel like I don't know, it's just when you're like raising like a Turkish family and everything, it's like those things are like you're not going out your way to do something. If something happened to family or one of your friends need you, you pretty much, no matter what it is, you drop whatever it is you're doing and you're there for them. And I have this conversation with people. They're like, so how does it work with you and your family? I'm like, listen, my family and like Turkish families, Irish are probably the same. If my dad calls me and is like, Diren, I, we need a bit of cash for the restaurant. It's not a matter of him going, Diren, do you have 5 grand to send me? It'll be, Diren, send me 5 grand, and like, you won't even question it. You just go, okay, dad, no problem. Just give me like 10 minutes or whatever, And I'm assuming the Irish are the same, right? With family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, like it's no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like I used to call my dad in the middle of the night and be like, "Dad, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Like you need to come and pick me up at this nightclub. Like this is," and he's like, "No problem." Like
Yeah.
there's no like, "What are you doing with it?" It's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm coming." You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? And I think that's why I personally find it so difficult. Everyone's like, so why don't you live in Australia? And I've got residency in Australia. I'm like, no, it's just not the same. It's like,
You're
great.
seriously.
It's great that we can like go live there whenever we want. Like we can travel there whenever we want from like with what we do. But just like the idea of being in Australia permanently forever, like stresses me out. I'm like, nah, man, I can't commit to that shit.
Yeah, but that's because you're an avoidant. That's because you're just like me. You just
Yeah.
avoid anything that threatens your freedom. So like you like to know that you can go anywhere and do anything. So
Yeah.
anything that threatens your freedom, you just are like, no, 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 because you're an avoidant.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Why are you dropping big words on me? We'll get to
Well,
that.
I'm trying. I
We'll get to
came
that.
here to therapy on your ass about your avoidance, and you know what? I was
Hey,
like,
this,
should I better get my fucking book up so then I have like all the notes that I want to like tell you about
listen,
because I've
if
been trying to get you to listen to this for a long time, to be honest.
no, if you've got your notepad, it's all good, man. That's why we're here. We're here to chat, have a bit of fun. And I see your content. And you know what's mad, yeah? When I met you, we met in Sydney, right? We met in Sydney. You had that little event on the boat and stuff, right? That's when we
Yeah,
met. Is that when we met, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I remember meeting you and going,
yeah,
hey, she's actually a lot smarter than what I thought. Because I was looking at your stories before, and people probably think the same about me. Like on your stories, you're always having fun, having banter, like me. But when I sat down and had a chat with you, you're there, man. You're like, you love all that, yeah. What
yeah.
how how much do you love traveling? Like, when did this whole influencer thing start? Because I remember all those stories when you were doing your backpacking and stuff. But when did you start traveling? Because that's when all your socials started popping. Is that right?
Yeah, so I went traveling. I must have been 26 maybe. Oh, I can't even remember. So it must have been like 4 years ago, and I went. That was how the first time I traveled by myself. No, it wasn't, because I was doing seasons in Spain. So I was doing seasons in
Magaluf.
Magaluf
Yeah.
first.
Okay. What was that
Oh,
like? What was that like?
oh my god, it was insane. Like drinking every single night for 6 months of the year. Like, but it was so good because you worked every day for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then you didn't work for 6 months, so you could sort of do what you wanted in those other 6 months. But like,
Okay.
obviously we were just drinking all the time. Like, I had like really really good job out there, so it wasn't just like, I started off obviously shop girl, moving way up, chatting to people on the street, and then I ended up like as the full VIP manager, just like looking after all the DJs. So like,
Yeah.
my job was just like looking after all the famous people, like Snoop Dogg, like
Oh,
Chris
really?
Brown. Yeah, I mean,
No
I could write a
way.
fucking book. Let me tell you, I could write a fucking book. And I'll tell you this: everyone thinks footballers are the cheats. No, 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 no. It's DJs, because they're secret, because they're not even, because they're making the music.
Yeah.
I mean, no one looks at their faces when they're out and about. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I could
100%.
have it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. What,
So Snoop Dogg was probably one of the biggest ones that I looked after, and that was kind of crazy.
if I met Snoop Dogg, I would fanboy hard. That is wicked. That
I
is
was so
wicked.
starstruck, like, and I would have been very used to this. So every single day I was looking after like Tiny Tampa, like, you know, all these people. And
Yeah.
like when he came in, I was like, whoa. And like I had to speak to like 10 people to get in to speak to him. There was like so many people that I had to
Yeah.
talk to.
Was he like, when you met him, was he real like, yeah, man, yeah, it's all
Oh
good,
my God.
man. Oh, is he cool? Like, is he cool?
Yeah. He's like, yo, what's up? Like everything was like in slow-mo. I was like, what the fuck? And like obviously we had to get a license so that he could smoke weed while he was DJing.
Yeah.
And the DJing was hilarious. I couldn't cope. The first song was, I'll never forget the first song he played. It was La La Bamba. And I was
No
like,
way.
we're in a fucking, this is a tech, like I was like
Yeah.
working in a big tech place, like, so I was like, what is going on?
Oh, that's
All
so
the
good.
all the dancers were high as well, up
Yeah.
above, because of smoking the weed, and the dancers were up there. They were like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah. What, so like when you were doing, obviously you were doing like 6 months there and like when pretty much chasing the sun, making enough money and then having the
Yeah,
luxury to be able to
exactly.
travel to Asia and stuff. Would you make
Yeah.
enough money at that time of period? So when you do go over to Asia or whatever, and that time of year, you've got enough money to be free, or do you still did
Yeah,
you work when you
100%.
went to Thailand and stuff?
Yeah, we were making money. So like we worked 6 months, and then that would do us 6 months, and then we'd go back, because you'd save a lot of money living in places like that, because you wasn't like, you couldn't shop.
Yeah,
Drink was free because it's basically like the most cheapest drink ever.
yeah.
And yeah, so it was just, I would save enough money. But I did run out of money when I was in Thailand, when I moved, my first move to Australia, to Sydney.
But you know what? How cool is it when you run out of money?
But running out of money was one of the best, was one of the experiences that make me where I am today, because when I had no money, so I went to Australia, I had £1,000,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
when I went to Australia. So by the time that I went to Australia and paid my rent and my bond, I was completely maxed out. I could not tell anyone. I was so shamed. Like, I was so shamed, because I was like, oh my God, I failed. Like, I came over here to start my new life and I had no money.
yeah.
And I even remember stealing tuna in Coles.
In Coles,
And
what
from
with the
there,
whole self checkout?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
stealing.
yeah, yeah,
So like I got that bad, and then I remember going to the farm. I did the farm work then, so I
yeah,
had zero money, and I you end up, you live. Do you know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're fine. Like I always thought like I needed this security, I needed this money in the bank, blah blah blah. But I realized that when I had no money, as long as I like have my roof over my head, I was grand. So when I went to the farm, I actually saved money working on the farm, and I remember
Yeah.
saving exactly $4,000. That's all I had, and I wanted to do. I was like, I don't want. I want to work for myself. I have a business idea. That was when I wanted to do the sale and single. So I was like, I
Yeah.
want to do a singles event, because I had also been celibate basically for the whole fucking year, and I was like, get out there, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm gonna do a full singles event. Did a singles event, and I remember the singles event cost me $4,000, and that's all I had. But like
Yeah.
I was just like, I paid skint before, I don't even care about the security. Like old Sinead would have been like, okay, wait till you have more money to like drill in. And I was
Yeah.
just like, fuck it, I've been skint before. If it goes wrong, I'll be skint again. It's grand. So
Yeah.
that was that like, and then ever since that day, I've never worked for anyone else. I was working in the bar
Yeah.
up until that day, and after that day, I haven't worked for anyone else apart from
You,
myself. So.
you know, when you said like, when you ran out of money and you forget the whole idea of security and all that stuff, it's so easy to be caught up on that when you're around people that think like that, don't you reckon? And then as soon as you start traveling and you meet all these people that are more free spirited,
Yeah.
that don't care as much, it puts you in that mindset. And when you're in that mindset, you have all this freedom to think of new creative ways where you can get money. And I think that's why traveling is I think just one of the best things people can do. So if you're listening to this and you haven't traveled yet, as soon as COVID-19 is over, quarantine is over, you need to book a flight. Even if you're on your own, just go out there. Because when you traveled on your own, right?
Yeah, I traveled on my own,
What
and
was
only because
Yeah, go on.
like I wasn't actually meant to travel on my own. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and then I got like the text the week before being like, you know, he went with someone else. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go by myself. But it was the best thing I ever did, like ever, 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 ever.
You know what?
And you meet so many, and you just become so open-minded to everything, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, because when you're in that, when you're traveling, I think traveling with my ex, I did a lot of traveling with her. And like when you travel with sometimes you feel like, not, I wouldn't say trapped, but you feel like you have to do something to please that person before you do anything
Yeah,
to please yourself. And I would say I'm learning to be more selfish, but at that time of my life, I wasn't. And I remember thinking, oh, if she's unhappy, it makes me unhappy. So I'll do whatever she wants to do. And then I end up like being kind of a little bit resentful. So that's why traveling on your own, you did the best thing because it's so much more fun.
I know, and you can just do whatever, and like, you know, even when I'm traveling with someone or someone wants to come somewhere with me, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm just so used to like having my own time and being able to do what I want. But I
Yeah.
definitely would like to travel a little bit more with someone. Like, I've never actually been traveling with someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No,
ever.
it is fun. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, when me and James travel,
Yeah, you've got each other. Why don't I have a James?
well, you have
Actually,
a Siobhan, but even, and I think like when I was staying with Siobhan and the amounts of times I've linked up with Siobhan in different countries or whatever, you would link up and kind of anyone that's quite socially aware of people in general, you don't even have the conversation of, oh, I'm going to do this. Is that okay? You just go do your own thing. The other person does their own thing. And then it kind of comes together. Right. And I think
yeah,
that's one of the best things. That's why it's so important who you travel with. Because I mean, traveling with someone you don't like, and some of my best friends I probably would never travel with, as in people I know back in
yeah, I
London,
couldn't.
couldn't do it because they just don't get it.
No,
Some,
no way.
like, have you done any trips with Siobhan anywhere, or you just linked up?
We had a trip. We actually had a trip planned. Literally the week before this all happened, we were going just to do a pizza run, and then I was going to Bali. So we haven't done a trip, no.
Yeah.
But that's all we've been talking about now. We're like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, because like, you know,
Yeah.
that's the things you regret. You regret the trips you didn't take. And like, I really want to take my mom and dad away. That's like my big thing before I start saving for something else. I was like, I'm just going to spend my money on my mom and dad and like take them somewhere. I'd
Sick.
love to take them to like, I was, so my mom was coming out. I paid for them to come out. That was my first, I was buzzing about it, to come to Thailand
Yeah.
after my retreat. So yeah, and then like obviously that fucked up, but definitely I think before I have a house or before I save for a mortgage, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna be like, do all this shit
That
first.
is exactly what I want to do as well. And that's why I like you, because you're like that, because you want to spend the money with people that you love, because where like your parents and my parents are from, like it's obviously a different generation. And I don't think they had the luxuries that we have when it comes to traveling and being so free spirited. Whereas my mum would have got to a certain age and then she would have had to get married. I don't know
Yeah,
what it was like in Ireland, but in Turkey, that was the case. So they never got to live those luxuries, and they only care about like how if I'm okay, they're okay, and it's probably the same with you. So that's why you
yeah.
wanna pay them back by taking them somewhere, right?
Yeah, 100%. And they, like, I took them to Australia last year, and it was like the best time ever. Like, it was just like so fun, and like I just want to do that again with them for
Oh,
sure.
did you took him to Australia?
Yeah. So after that, I did that sailing single.
Oh,
I paid for
sick.
them. Yeah, I literally spent all my money. Like the only money that I made, I was like, fuck it, I'll make more money. But I remember after that as well, I took mom and dad out, and then like they were there for like 3 weeks, and it was the best time ever. Then I had no money.
Oh,
And then I went traveling again. I had money, I spent it, and then I went traveling. I just remember like I was living in Bali, and obviously Siobhan and that, like they were going out for dinner. I couldn't even afford dinner. I was like eating my oats
but that's
for
so
dinner.
good. That's so good. And you know what? I've noticed more and more since I kind of got out of the bubble of saving, all that sort of stuff. The more you are like that, you kind of manifest the things to happen to you, right? Like you doing that.
Oh, I know.
100%.
Money just comes in when you're not thinking about the stuff that you don't have. Like if you
Yeah,
start saying, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna manifest that. But I literally used
100%.
to be like, if I have enough, I was making like a fiver a week or something like that on like swipe ups when I first started this. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to live on this.
Yeah,
So I was
sick.
just living off this fiver a week, and I was just
That's why.
reading books, and I was
That's
like, this
I've
is
even
what I'm like.
I've even got on my notes here as you as the queen of swipe ups. I've got you as queen of swipe ups because
I am the queen of swipe ups.
every time I see you swipe up, and you're like everything you do. But I rate it because like I don't do it so
Swipe
much.
up.
I don't do it with other brands, but you're so likable and you don't care.
Yeah.
People buy into that because you are like that, and it's it's organic and it's authentic. So that's
Yeah.
why I
I'm
rate
just
it.
like, what is yes, that's like what is the point actually like when I wear something everyone's like, oh, where's it from, or like, and I'm like, no, like here's the link, if you want it, there it is. Like
Yeah,
it's not, you don't need very much commission, like you're getting, but it's like, what is the point whenever like people are going to ask you, you may as well just give them the link.
yeah,
And I only do it for the brands that I work for, like, and that's it. Like I've got offered so much money to do things, like, and I'm just like, no, because like unless I wear it or unless I use it myself, I'm not
yeah,
going to promote it. But I say to my agent, he's like, well, and I'm like, the things that I wear, that's what I want to get paid for. I don't want to be getting all these random deals coming through.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want like money from what I wear.
Yeah,
So
and you're good at that as well. I see. Don't I see your outfits and everything? You know, I see everything, and
I
you're
fit
very
in
good at
literally
it.
in gym clothes every fucking day.
No, but you're good.
I don't even work out at the
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, but you're good. But you know what? You do you like? I know when you're in Bali and stuff, I see you go into like CrossFit and stuff to do some sessions. But you're not so fussed about training, are you? Like you're not really. You
Oh, I
train,
am.
you
I'm a
train.
big CrossFitter, but I don't put my training too much on my profile. I used to be a fitness blogger. That was like my thing, fitness. But
Okay.
for me, I don't put my body out there or show fitness videos because I don't want people to compare themselves to me, and I don't want my profile to be about my body.
Okay, that's why
So
I thought that. So that's why that's good. Yeah, carry
yeah,
on. Sorry.
so people think like I don't put up workouts, I don't do anything like that because I am more interested in like teaching people how to deal with their emotions and be more aware and stuff like that. And I don't want people to be like, oh, if I do that workout, I'm gonna look like Sinead. And I
Yeah,
don't like to even concentrate on my body. I don't like to go body update or anything like that. Like
yeah,
I just like, I'm more than my body, and I just wanted to step away from the
yeah.
body image
But
stuff. Yeah.
but even you've got a good balance as well where yeah, I see you training and everything, but I know you love your festivals as well, right? Oh, I think we froze. All right,
Oh,
here
I
we are.
love a fest.
You love your festivals, right?
Oh, I love a fez. I actually am gonna miss them so much. I love a fez. I love the girls' nights out. I definitely don't drink as much as I used to. 100%.
Yeah,
I will definitely Darth Fade off the planet. But yeah, I just love to dance because dancing and stuff like that just makes me feel like a little child. I'm that person. Like I'm Phoebe from Friends. Like I will run like and
yeah,
dance and stuff like that. So I like to have fun.
yeah.
I love a fezzy.
So for anyone that's listening that hasn't like done or gone to any festivals, where's the festival to go to, and which one's your favorite?
Well, it has to be Australia because it's always warm.
The weather, yeah,
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 come on. And like they're just right there. You don't have to travel, you don't have to stay. Like, because if you live in Sydney, you're just like, okay, let's just go to this one, you just get a taxi to it and
yeah,
stuff like
true.
that.
And you
And
love
you have to go to,
go
yeah,
on,
you have
sorry.
to go to the ones that have like loads of rides and stuff, so then you can actually
Yeah,
have a great time.
and you love Sydney, innit?
Yeah, I'm like planning on going back. I was looking at apartments there. Obviously, they're not letting me in there anytime soon, but yeah, Sydney's kind of like where I'm going to set up next. I actually was avoiding settling down for a very long time. I'm just like, okay, and then this made me realize that I actually need like a base. Like my house is coming down with books and stuff, and it's all in my parents' house. And I'm like, if I actually had a house, but it scares the life out of me to actually have one place rather than have like a suitcase and just being able to go wherever I want. Like
I
it
know.
scares the
But you know
shit
what?
out of me.
But you know what? I've always thought that as well. And when I used to go, when I go back to my mum and dad's, I was like, I can't do this anymore to my mum and dad's. I need like my base where I can put my stuff. So that's why I've just got one room. I'm like recording this in my room. My bed's literally right there. The door's here. My clothes are right next to me on my left. My trainers are here. And it's a small area, but I just use it to have a little base. And
But
because
like, what do you, when you go away? Do you rent that out, or what do you do with that space?
no, you know what? I've accepted the fact where I'm like, you know what, Diren, you're not, you're not 18 no more. If you've got a little space, have a base, just think that as that's something you're going to have to pay for all the time. So that kind of makes me work a little bit harder,
Oh, really?
keeps me accountable to bring in more money for myself. Because if I wasn't paying it here, if I was, for example, after I did all that traveling, I went straight to my mum and dad's, it would stress me out. Like, because
Mm,
here I have a routine when I'm at my mum and dad's, and although I love my family, and it's just hard to have a routine in that area, like where I was raised and everything. There's no coffee shops,
yeah.
there's nothing like that. So
Oh, I miss coffee shops.
yeah, so do I. So that's why I've always been like, you know what, this is my base. And I tell you now, when you have a base and you have a routine in that base, each time you travel and you come back, you're going to be so much more productive in that base. Because when you're
Yeah,
traveling, it can be hard to have a routine, right? It's great, but it's hard to have a routine.
yeah. I know what you mean. That's why I was like, I just need to have somewhere. So I actually was just kind of traveling around there, and then I was kind of at this point, it's the first time I went, okay, I don't want to be living out of the suitcase anymore, because I was leaving loads of clothes in different places. Like I have clothes in Bali, clothes in Thailand, clothes in fucking Australia, and I was like, I just need somewhere.
Yeah,
So so I think I'm gonna go back to Australia and set my base up there, even though it's the most expensive. But
yeah.
you know what? If it doesn't work out, you know,
Just come
you never
back.
know.
Exactly.
So.
Why Sydney? Like, why Sydney?
Because Sydney for me feels like home. Like Thailand and Bali is quite different for me because first of all, I'm a city girl. I love the city,
Yeah,
and like I actually buzz and I feel really creative and enlightened when I'm walking around the city. Like listening to my
yeah,
music, that kind of gives me. I feel happy. So I don't think I could have like lived in Thailand or Bali. So I was like, and Sydney's obviously really hot. And when I go there, I feel like my family's there because my friends are just always there. Whilst if you go to Thailand, people come and go a lot. So there kind of feels like, I feel like the reason why I go there is like the family aspect for me, and the people that are like my friends are just always there. And it's sunny, and
yeah,
you know, everyone's really healthy and everyone's always doing shit all the time.
yeah. Is there's
Everyone's
also
just sitting around.
there's also a big Irish community in Sydney, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
Like that
where, yeah,
that's it's insane. Like people are like, it's just one big Irish community, and I really want to start doing my events over there and stuff as well, which is for
yeah,
Irish travelers. Well, it's
yeah,
for all girls, but all my followers seem to be Irish, so
yeah. The
you know.
Irish love you. You got a wicked following, and
Yeah,
and
they're moving.
just like the Turkish people with Irish, I'm assuming is when they love someone, they like really love them, and they just like support everything that they
Yeah,
do, right? Which is cool. But
yeah, it's so good. I think we had this conversation. I think I told them to do something to you when we were in Barcelona. I can't remember, and then they did something. I can't remember because I
they,
remember I wanted you to stay because I missed my flight.
oh yeah, yeah. What was that? Oh,
I
it'll
can't
come
remember. I
back
think
to
you had
me.
to comment on your thing or something, and then you
Yeah,
were like, you were scared. You're like Irish mafia.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
everything else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But what about so why? Because I know you do your retreats and stuff, right? You want to do
Mhm.
events and everything, and you do that in Thailand. Well, you were going to do it in Thailand, or did it happen?
Yeah. No, it didn't happen because it was like it would have been last month, yeah, that would have went ahead, which
Yeah,
is really crap because I spent a lot of time and I did everything by myself, and it was my first like, you know, business venture, and it's basically kind of I've had to give all the money back to everyone,
Yeah.
and I lost a lot of money on fees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, straight fees and like, paying Thailand and stuff. And I still haven't got the money back
Yeah.
from Thailand. So I've had to pay everyone back with not even having the money, and plus losing all the money, all my merchandise, everything is just
Yeah.
like gone
But you know
missing
what?
because it got sick.
That's
Yeah.
just another challenge, and I'm sure you'll do it. So say me, I bought into your retreat, right? I was supposed to come to Thailand to come see you to do the retreat. What do I get out of it? And what do I come out? What do I come out with when I finish the retreat? So what happens in the retreat?
So basically, like, the whole point of it, right? My kind of, because I wrote down like my why to do it, and I used to get loads of messages from girls saying like, I would absolutely love to travel, but my friends won't go. I'm so scared, blah blah blah. And I was like,
Yeah.
what if I'm standing there at the other side? Would you, do you know what I mean? So it's for, and every single person that bought the retreat was a solo traveler and someone that hadn't really traveled before, and that is my whole target audience, because I want people to actually get out of their comfort zones. So when they come there, it's a 2-week retreat. It costs 1,900. You get your accommodation, your food, and you get all your excursions, and you get all your training and your gym as well. So they come like, but I do workshops as well. So I do workshops on how to find your purpose, how to, control emotions, how to align your thoughts. And then I have a therapist. So a therapist comes in and she does all her workshops on like, trying to get rid of any emotional blocks.
Okay.
And then I have Becca, who is doing she was going to do on the nutrition and anything to talk about, stuff like emotional eating and binge eating and stuff like that. Just,
Yeah.
so basically, and then I do meditation, and then I have a meditation coach classes, yoga. So it's basically like a whole mindfulness, fitness. Like, I just want people to like actually start going on a journey then, and like their minds are opened, and then they can just go and do whatever.
So a bit like just like starting people off before they make the real jump of going traveling on their own, and
I want
kind
their
of
mind
help them.
just open.
Okay. And what do you do to open? And what do you do to open your mind?
Well, obviously, I'm the girl you go to if you want to open your mind, because I've read every book in the time. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I just like, obviously, for my open mind came from traveling. All my spiritual awakenings came from traveling and reading and stuff like that. So that's what I do, and I'm very aware, and my awareness is insane. Like, I'm very aware of so many things. Like, I'm very aware of ego. Like, I will notice my ego at all times, and I will put it at bay. So that's what I want people to do. I want people to just know that.
I'm assuming if you don't know your ego, your parents will tell you, because my one would. I'll get a slipper.
But like, ego is, even like, our parents have massive egos, and they just don't know what it means by it, because my mom is constantly freaking out about what people think.
Yeah.
So that's ego. Your ego is what people think. So when someone is, whenever someone cheats and they're like, you make me look like a mug, like, that's your ego talking, because that's about what everyone else thinks. Like, what about what's going on? What about what you want? What about what your partner wants? Like, you need to be getting rid of the ego and find out what you truly want. Like, fuck what everyone else thinks. If we let into our ego, we would never be doing what we were doing, because at the start, I'd say people like me and you got fucking abuse. For like, speaking to her story. Like, I got so much abuse, like people mocking me, all this, you know what I mean? If we would listen to our ego saying, oh my God, we need to not do this because it's embarrassing, then we wouldn't be where we are. We didn't listen to our ego at that point.
You know
what
what?
Do you think? Did you get any?
That's funny you say that, because I've never actually thought about ego like that before. I'm not gonna lie. So that actually sparks my brain a little bit.
People think it's one thing, but it's actually another thing.
Because I was thinking about a total different thing. Like, I was thinking about like my ego or other people's ego. Whereas you're right about so many things. And I was saying this on another podcast. Like, we do so many things and act a certain way because we fear what other people may think of us. And that stops us from actually doing things that we really want to do.
100%.
And I think that's I've never actually thought of it like that. And what, because obviously I know you read a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So if I wanted to read a book, right, let's say I wanted to read a book on a few topics. Say if I wanted to read a business minded book, what book would I go for? What book would you recommend?
I would go for Unlimited Power. Like, you want to see all my books here? They're all over the book.
And who's that? Who wrote that?
That's Tony Robbins, but the first book I ever read was by him called Awaken the Giant Within, and
Okay.
that is when your awareness gets pulled out of you. You kind of really figure out what you want there, because people don't really know their values. Like, people fight in relationships as well because, you know, their commitment is not high up on their values. Freedom, if freedom is number one in your values, you're going to fight with your partner, because
Yeah.
you're always going to want freedom. And like, if their values is high up with love, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
collide all the time. So it really got all my values and stuff out there, and then like, that's what I want to put out to people as well, because people don't have
Yeah.
a fucking clue what they want in life. So how
I
can you
know.
have dreams and manifest things if you can't actually, nobody knows, and people are scared to say their dreams out loud
Yeah, and
because
it's mad when you say that
yeah.
about when you're in love, right? When you fall in love,
Mhm.
your decisions are way different to how you would probably react if you wasn't in love, because you're getting all this, you're getting the feeling of like dopamine. It's like a drug, and you get all these
Love drug.
feels, love drug, Yeah, that's why you see a lot of people
Love drug
falling.
is actually very dangerous.
That's why I've had a lot of friends fall in love at festivals.
Yeah. That's a different kind of drug.
That's a different kind of drug, but you're right about a love drug. And I think that's why when you're with someone, and whoever you're with and whoever you're sharing time with or spending time with, it's important that people understand, number one, freedom, I think, is key, depending on what the person wants, you know. But number two is also not getting sucked in to make decisions because of love. Because yes, we shouldn't be selfish and we should think about the people that we love, but it goes vice versa. You don't want the other person on the other side taking advantage of you being in love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
And
what you mean.
uh, go on.
No, I was just gonna start questioning you
Oh, here
about
we
love,
go.
but
Here we go. Go on, go on. You can question me about love,
okay.
or you can question me about love.
What I want to say,
Well,
what
go
I
on.
wanted to say was, I'm trying to get my notes up because I actually really want to go through this with you, because I really want you to
Okay,
be
okay.
aware
Hey,
of
you better
this.
not.
Okay,
You better not throw me under the bus here on my podcast. Yeah.
I'm not going to throw you under the bus, right?
All right.
So
All
what
right.
I'm saying is, right,
Okay.
why? So I'm an avoidant. Okay, you're an avoidant.
Okay.
Siobhan is avoidant. James
Okay.
is an avoidant. So this is
Okay.
why we're all, the way we are. So we're all avoidant. So basically, anytime our freedom gets gets threatened by someone or something, then we just scatter. Okay, so I just
Okay.
what did I want to show you? I wanted to show you the deactivating strategies
All right, go on.
for
Tell
shitting
me,
yourself.
yeah, tell me. You can question me about it, and then we'll then explain it to the people that's listening as well. So, because it can hopefully it helps them as well. So tell me.
Because people think like, oh, why are you single, or why, or whatever. It's because like we're so afraid of commitment, and why are we so? But like, you have to realize that avoidance, like us, you know, people think it's got to do with the person, but it's actually got to do with the fact that we are so scared to be like hurt or whatever. We just don't want to be free, or we
This,
just don't want our freedom taken away. But
yes,
we will continue to do this with people, go
yeah,
into relationships, and we will do deactivating strategies. So we will focus on small imperfections of our partners, and we use this as a coy, be like, oh, maybe there's no spark, there's no what, that, do you know what I mean? And we're like,
yeah,
we use it, but it's
yeah,
actually not, it's us. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
and then
100%.
we do other things. Okay, so also avoidance, when they're dating someone, or especially me, as I do as well, when
Yeah,
we're flirting with others, no, we'll see someone and we really like them, but we flirt with others. It's a hurtful way to introduce like insecurity into the relationship.
yeah,
We flirt with other people to kind of like keep us from being close to someone. We say the things like saying I'm not ready to commit, saying
yeah,
like, oh, I'm just not ready. Then we also pine after phantom exes. So we'll compare, the person that is right in front of us with someone else. We'll be like, oh,
yeah,
well, they're not like this, or they're not like that, or,
yeah.
this person needs to be like this
Okay,
in
yeah,
order for me to be with them.
yeah,
But that's actually nothing to do with them. This has got to do with us closing off to like commitment.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But what you'll realize is the end of the story is that we're going to keep going down this road as avoidance, and keep being, because avoidance are like unhappy, like the most unhappy in relationships, because basically we're always thinking about other things and about all the other freedom that we want and stuff like this. But
yeah,
we're going to continue to be unhappy unless we let people in and we just break down those walls and we actually, you know, be like, okay, I'm an avoidant. I need to like let them in a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah. But you know
So
what?
do you
I'd
think you
say,
have activating strategies?
so I'm not going to lie to you. I've learned something. That's the first time I feel like you're my therapist. I like it.
Oh, I'm it.
And you know what? When you said that, what was the point you made about comparing? What was it? Pine? Did you say? What was that?
Pining, what, after Phantom X's and stuff?
I'll be honest.
Or
With that. I don't do that. I'll be honest. I don't do
yeah.
that. I don't do that. But all the other points are pretty much exactly how I think. And the only reason I think I'm personally like that is because and I don't care if the people listening they hear this, I had a long-term relationship when I was really young. And when I came out of it, I felt like a lion was let free from the cage, you know? And all I wanted to do was stuff to make myself happy. And
Yeah.
and I did that, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And after I have that freedom, because I was in a cage for so long, it feels like it's gonna be very hard to get back in there. And if when I'm hanging out with the right person, it doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like that. Therefore, I wouldn't mind committing. But the problem with commitment for me is the whole labeling
It takes away
thing.
your freedom.
It takes away my freedom. That is exactly it. It takes away
It
from
takes
me.
away your absolute freedom. It's the same as me. Say, right, when I'm going, say if I'm with someone, right now, my last fella, he was like, well, you need to be in this country for us to be together. That's my excuse. That's my excuse to go run, run, run. So they, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I'm
yeah,
like running because I'm an avoidant, and like anything that I have to do, or if you threaten my freedom, then I'm
yeah,
gonna run for the hills.
yeah,
But you have to act, yeah. So anything like that I know that I have to be in a country, but that means that that partner, even if I love that partner is wrong for me because he's too anxious. I need a secure partner who's going to be
yeah.
like, oh, you can do whatever you want, blah blah blah, and then like that kind of breaks me down. That doesn't make me run like fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Do you
so
think?
I'm seeing someone now, and he's very secure. He lets me do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Whilst the last guy kind of was, he was going, oh, you need to be here, and I was going, oh, well, you're not the one for me, like, because I was running. But you need
yeah,
someone so secure who doesn't threaten your
yeah.
freedom like that. Do you know
You
what I
need
mean?
you need someone with. Everyone's got insecurities, right? I have insecurities. We all
Mm-hmm.
have insecurities, and I'd say it's weird if you say you don't have insecurities because there's certain things we're all insecure about. But I feel like
Yeah.
the person that say someone like you or myself or people like us would settle with or have a family with or whoever would have to be people that don't question you, don't put stress on you, because that thing you said about freedom is I can't I can't imagine ever giving that away. And although I care
But you
about
have
people, yeah, but although I care about
I'm
people,
trying.
yeah, but you know what? I don't I don't know if I will. Like for people I care about, I would always do things for them and I'll always be mindful of them.
Yeah, but do you want to be like in a loving relationship when you're older?
I want a family when I'm older. So
Yeah. So at
therefore,
some
yeah,
point,
at
you're
some
gonna
point
have to
it'll
you're gonna
break.
make a sacrifice.
It'll break. It'll break at some point. But you know what's mad as well? I also find myself, and probably yourself, is you're very driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm very ambitious. So I feel like there's so many things that I really want to achieve to before that happens.
Yeah.
Because in a weird way, it kind of not not slows you down, but again, it's the element of blocking your freedom. And I feel like
Yeah.
until I'm really satisfied with uh what I've done and what I've achieved, that's when I think I'll be like, you know what? I need to breed. I need some kids.
Great.
Because I do want
What have you
kids.
done?
I've turned 28 this year.
Oh yeah. So yeah. It's crazy. Like our mums and dads probably had like 3 babies by this time, like, and we're like, no, no.
100%. Talking about like all that stuff. Are you? I know you also love all that spiritual stuff, right? Meditation, spiritual. I find it so difficult, like to switch off and to even like this morning I had, and my clients will listen to this. I was supposed to do a yoga session with my clients, and I had so many things I had to do that I couldn't switch off. And I feel like sometimes maybe meditating really brings you back down to,
100%.
but I haven't
Do
done it enough. So you tell me about it, because I know you do it.
do you not get high heart rate? Do you ever get really worked up? Do you ever get stressed?
I think I do, but I kind of just push through it. And sometimes, and I can't chill out until I've done the things in the morning that I have to do. Check my emails, reply to my clients, make sure I've posted on socials. And that's actually a bad habit, but I feel like I can't chill out until that happens, because I feel like I'm most productive in the morning. And you're probably the same. I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, I do everything in the morning as well. I have my checklist and stuff in the morning, but I do think it's really important to shut off, because you need to actually train your mind to watch your thoughts and stuff. Like if you don't stop and let your thoughts stop, then your
Yeah.
thoughts are just going to take over your mind, and you're going to it depends. Like a lot of people are deal with automatic negative thoughts. So you think of in your head, like for example, one of my negative thoughts would be, because I'm writing a book, I'm not a very good writer. I'm not good with punctuation, not very good at English. So I could sit in my head and I could say, I can't write. Oh my God, I can't do this. I'm useless. I can never do this. And it ends
Yeah.
up being like, why would anyone pay for this book? Blah blah blah. So there's the negative thoughts that go on in my head. But if I learn to slow down and I take that thought and I say, I can't write, that's not
Yeah.
even true. That's just me feeling inadequate. And when you feel inadequate, that means you're missing a skill. It doesn't mean you can't do it. So
Yeah.
what do I do to help that thought? I now have to go get a skill, go learn how to write. It's not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's just being lazy. So
Yeah.
if you don't actually slow down and actually watch your thoughts, you start to believe those thoughts in your head. So that's
Yeah.
why I tell people to also shut off. Also, there is a difference between bouts of anxiety and chronic anxiety disorders. So if you're getting bouts of anxiety around this time, your
Yeah.
body's in fight or flight, your muscles are tight, your breathing's different. If you're in that chronic stress for a long enough period, that will eventually turn into an anxiety disorder, such as anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to put yourself out of the chronic stress. And what gets you out of chronic stress? Breathing, meditating. That's when your muscles relax, that's when your brain relaxes,
Yeah.
and that is when you get out of that, and you don't want to be getting like medicated down the line. So
Yeah.
you could stop it right now with meditation. And
Yeah.
also you can get really creative in your head. you
Yeah. Yeah.
can
Yeah.
you can see your spirit guides, they are always there. You can ask, I like to ask questions in my meditations
To yourself.
to my subconscious. So I'll
Okay.
like deep in meditation, and then like you can write a question, put it down a well, and then it comes up. I remember writing I remember doing it and going, who's my soulmate? And then like you're in this meditation, you put this letter down the well, and then you bring it up in your meditation. I just looked at it, and it was just like me staring back at me. So I was like, oh, I'm my own.
It's
Answers like that.
yeah, it's funny you say that, because when I do the yoga sessions with my clients, there's always like a 5 or 6 minute like meditation at the end. And
Mm.
it's weird. It's like my shoulders loosen up, my traps relax, and it's like my heart rate drops, and I can finally chill out. And obviously I have to put my phone on silent and all of that stuff. And you get these ideas. So I feel like with me and the people around me, when they force me to do that, and I feel like that's why I also need people around me as well to tell me to be like, Diren, chill the fuck out. And my friends and family will do that for me. That's why I love them, So because they'll chill me out when I do have those doubts. I've got good people around me to be like, Diren, like, you can do this. There's a reason. There's a reason you are where you are today. It's for that reason. Just go and do it. Like you said about the book, because I've got a grammar issue. I'm dyslexic. I'm not very good at that stuff, but people will remind me and give me that confidence. And I think that's also good to have those people around you, because being like how we're like, you also have what's that single called? What's that? When you're like, ah, when you doubt
What?
yourself, it's called
Your
something.
self-worth. I'm the same too. I barely want to charge for my work, but yeah, your self-worth, like you don't feel worthy of like charging for things and stuff.
Yeah. Or do you sometimes wonder like, oh, this is crazy. How have I got this many followers? Like, why you've got it, why it's happened, but sometimes not doubt it, but you question it. Like, you have that, I forgot what it's called. I spoke to this about James so many times. Oh, I forgot. Anyway, but you know what I
Imposter
mean?
syndrome.
Yes, that's the one.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I have it all the time. I
That's the
speak to my
one.
therapist about it.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. And would you
Yeah.
recommend getting a
You should
therapist?
know this because there's a whole section on his book about it, and you were at his book tour talking about it, so you should
Listen,
know that.
let's not get into that conversation. Yeah, I read his book. I listened to
Read
his
his
book.
book?
I audio booked it. But listen, but I forget things.
Oh,
I audio book it. I
I
audio book
can't
it.
believe you
Uh,
always looked at it.
yeah, but the thing is, I can't. Let's see. That's another thing. I can't concentrate to read. So, but when I'm walking and I'm listening to an audio book,
Yeah,
it goes in.
okay,
Go
so
on.
let me talk to you. You can't concentrate, okay? Because you have a low attention span. You have a
Oh,
very low attention span.
so low.
Right, can I ask you this question? When you go search something in Safari, do
Yeah.
you close that and then go into another app until it loads?
Oh my days. Yes.
So you
You
have a
know.
very low attention
You know
span.
what? You know what? Yeah. The title of this podcast is going to be "Me and My Therapist." That's what I'm going to call it. That's what.
That's what I love to do.
That's what
So
I'm going to call it.
you have a very low attention span, right? But your attention span can be fixed because your attention span is low because you're constantly looking at different content, swiping, seeing different content.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
your attention span.
Yeah.
So it won't. You probably can't read a book at all. So you can train it with meditation. You can also train it with actually reading the book. So when you read a book, I actually did my own research on this, my own project. This is why I started studying psychology, because I was like, I actually feel like I can help
Yeah.
people's attention spans because mine's so low. So I help myself. So
Yeah.
you can, I tell people to read a book. Okay. And I would say, tell me exactly when you want to reach for your phone when you read that book. It's usually around 2 or 3 pages, which is obviously not good. So it's not good. So I'm like, right, okay, now do this, do 15 minutes meditation. And then tomorrow I want you to do I want every time you want to go reach for that phone, you don't, and you continue to read the book, that's your attention span being trained. So then tomorrow you'll be able to read 4 pages without wanting to reach for your book or reach for your phone, and then the next day and the next day. So you're training it every single day. So you should really try reading.
Yeah, I will. And you know what? Sometimes, and I know this, and I don't care if people are hearing this anyway, but like I feel like sometimes I use the excuse of having a low attention span to not finish say a book that I started reading. So I'll use that as an excuse and not finish the whole thing. You know what I mean? So you know what? You can pull me up on it. You can pull me up on it now. You can message me and be like, Diren, how many pages have you done?
Yeah, exactly. You should just do 2 or 3 pages a day, and that's all you need, because like leaders are readers, as you know, like people that's like at the end of the day, that's what makes you smart. Like that's what makes you aware.
Yeah.
And you need to do it. So you have to get a book. I'll send you a book, Eco, maybe something with Eco. And you have to promise me that you're going to do a meditation after this that I choose.
You know what? You know, it's funny. When I was chatting to Siobhan when I was in Bali, she was like, it's great having like you there, because like sometimes you'll randomly go, all right, Siobhan, we're meditating for 5 minutes. Shut this off. And then you'll force her to meditate.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Someone to go, Diren, go do this. And I'll be like, okay, I'll go do it. You know? So that's good. But what go on, say that. What were you saying?
I was saying that this is an experiment. I'm gonna make you do it, and then you're gonna talk about it. You're gonna tell me what you've seen in your meditation.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Okay. All right, cool. All right. I'll tell you. What about so we spoke about we said the book about business, right? Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah. What about mindset for people that wanna listen or read a book? What about a mindset book? What would you recommend?
Mindset is sort of like, there's loads of different ones. It depends what you want, like especially habits. Like if you want to be successful, you need to figure out your daily habits. So Atomic Habits would definitely be
that's
the
a sick
one
book
for that. Atomic Habits is a great book. You should read that book.
I've read it. I've actually read that.
Mindset, so mindset, I would just say Awaken the Giant Within. It's a very lengthy book though.
Yeah.
And then but there's also ones like What I Know for Sure by Oprah. That's very simple. It's a good. A Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's a very good.
That when I left Sydney, right? When I first left Sydney, that actually it's gonna sound so cringe, but it kind of changed me the way I think and like changed my life a little bit. Because
your first. You need to keep reading.
That was my first ever book, because I was going through a really shit time, And when I read that, when I was listening to it actually, and I would go on my
Mhm.
walks and I'll just listen to that and listen to it in Bali as well. And that was unreal. That's one of those books. I was
You
like,
you should sign up to his newsletter. Do you have his daily emails?
what, Mark Manson?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't actually. Is it good? Yeah.
I love him, and like I'm sucked into his, like I even pay for his subscription. People pay for emails, £4
Yeah.
a month. Imagine I would have so much money if I paid for my emails. Got paid
But all
for
right, cool. I need to sign up to your email list actually. I need to sign up to your email list.
so you like it.
I
I
think I
actually
do get
did
your
one.
emails. I think I do. No,
No, because you know,
no,
like,
no, no.
yesterday's was really emotional for people because I'm talking about how to get into other people's mindsets, and I was trying to get them into Boris Johnson's mindset, and everyone was like, "I got shivers reading the poem."
All right, I'm gonna jump onto it because actually, I'm not signed up to your email list, but Siobhan's forwarded me a couple, so that's why I know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was
So,
talking about you one time. I was like,
yeah, 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 yeah. So, what about all right, business mindset, self development? I guess all books are in a way like a self development book, right? So,
if you want to know about humans. So basically, I could probably sit down with a human and know exactly like how they've been brought up by the way they go on,
yeah,
because I know like their characteristics. Or if they're like guys that are really sensitive, usually don't have a male figure around them because their feminine side is more like it's not like the male usually comes in and be like, no, chill out. If they're really sensitive, that usually means that their dad hasn't been around. So
yeah.
the book for to actually know humans and have a conversation and be like, I know everything about you, is Laws of Human Nature. It's a bit of a lengthy one though.
Okay.
700 pages.
Have you read Surrounded by Idiots?
No, I haven't read that.
You like that?
Okay, I'll
You
put that
like
on
that?
my list.
You like that? You like that? People that are listening, make sure you listen to those books. And also, you're doing a bit of writing now. Is that right?
Yes, I just finished writing my second ebook. My first ebook was Tools to Do with Anxiety, which is just like a little bit of research that I did. And then this second book is on relationships. You should know these things. Yeah, so it's basically how to really know your partner and how to fight better, because obviously we're always going to fight, but like, what are we fighting about? That's what I'm kind of
Yeah.
trying to get to the point, and how to make your partner like, because I was really saddened by people. It actually like came about by listening to radio, and people were giving in their anonymous confessions about how much they hated their partner at this time, and how much they hated their sisters and their moms. And I was like,
Yes. But
so I
isn't
got really triggered. It was like, I fixed my relationship with my mom and we get on so well now because of the things that I've learned. And I was like, I'm just going to write all this down and just give it to people.
yeah.
And it kind of just a big, like it's about 10,000 words. So it's quite lengthy. Like,
Oh, that's good. You know what's mad? Isn't it crazy? Like, I've seen a few things where people are confessing stuff like that. And it's crazy to think like I couldn't live like that.
yeah, but people just don't know how to
Deal with
understand
it. Yeah.
when you understand other humans. Like, I understand why my mom nags and shouts now. Do you
Yeah.
get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah, I
really
do.
so like before it was just clashing,
Yeah.
and now I really understand her, and I understand what I need and understand what she needs.
Yeah.
And people are just unaware, so they just think
Yeah.
their mom's being a bitch, but your mom does not wake up in the morning with the intention for you to suffer.
Yeah. And
So
you know what? It's mad because when I upset someone, or if whatever happens in whatever scenario I'm in, it could be a fight, it could be where someone's falling in love or whatever. I always question myself,
mhm.
right? And to make sure I'm really aware of what's happening, why that person is reacting that way to me. What have I done to make that person react? And I feel like so many people, they don't think about that and they're not aware. They're just like in tunnel vision and they don't look into things and question why this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like the best thing to do is to practice compassion. Like, getting into someone else's mindset is the most. And I actually wrote an email about this yesterday. It was actually like, I got a powerful statement from a German soldier who was once after he killed his enemy with his bare hands, he looked over him and he looked in his pockets and seen pictures of his wife, and he just wrote this amazing statement about you're just a poor devil like me, because you're so unaware, you're just fighting for no reason. And then you're like, if you actually get into the mindset, like, that person isn't evil, you know.
Yeah.
I'll send you that email because we need to break that.
Send it to me, and I will also 100% sign up to your email list. What you know, when you were in Sydney,
Mm-hmm.
what's the dating scene like in Sydney? Because I mean, I've been in the dating scene in Sydney, and how would you compare it? Were you dating any guys in Australia? What was it like in Australia dating for you?
I basically have, I don't have a boyfriend, but I have a person that I'm moving back to Australia and we're moving in together.
Yeah, okay. But were you like for that? Okay. No, because I was saying, like, I always found it with girls in Australia, they found it very confident girls always find it a little bit difficult because
Very
you're confident. You're confident. So I always
I
found
find
it.
it very difficult. Australian guys are just a different level as well. Do you know what I mean? Going on dates
Yeah.
with them. I didn't like the dating scene there. Like I just felt like it was the same people on the apps.
Yeah. That's what
You know
that's
what I
what I
mean?
was that's what I was kind of getting to. And I wanted to know if you thought the same.
You see the same people over and over again, so they're obviously just like not looking for relationships because they're not getting anything.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then there wasn't, and I don't know. I felt like it wasn't really like I never got with anyone the whole time I was there. The first year for the whole month. I got with someone at the end,
Yeah.
and then that's like it was a friend of a friend usually I get with, and then the guy that I'm seeing now he was my friend as well. So
Yeah.
that's usually what happens to me. I can't really just meet strangers. I kind of have to know them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know a few people who love the dating scene there and get on well with
All right. So, okay, when did I see you last? Did I see you in IFS last? Was it
it.
IFS?
No,
Pretty sure it was.
no,
Yo,
it
come on.
wasn't. It had to be Sydney.
Nah, it was IFS. Oh no, Sydney, the book tour, Smith's book tour, the Sydney one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, because we
yeah,
have a
yeah.
photo from that night.
Yeah, that's right. And then before that, it was IFS. Hopefully, IFS happens this year. I'm hoping IFS happens this year because you're speaking there. Is that right?
They need to tell me what I'm talking about because I don't know. I don't even know what I'm speaking about. I'm
All right.
like, I keep telling, like, look, I'm like, what? And he's like, you're a surprise. You're my little prodigy. And I was like, what the fuck have you got me saying? Plus, I have public speaking anxiety. I have to go to therapy for my public speaking.
No, you'll be fine
So
as
I'm
long
like, can you
as.
tell me?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, worst case, you'll be on a panel talking. I mean, if you can waffle half as good as you waffled on this podcast, you'll be fine. What? All right. Hey, that was wicked. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was good. Thank you
You're
for coming
actually going to
on.
do meditation.
Sorry?
Oh, are we not off yet? We're not off.
No, we're not off yet.
Yet.
We're not off yet. But I was gonna say, where can people find you? For the people that don't know about you yet.
So Sinead Haig is my Instagram name. SineadHegarty.com for all my work, and Brave with Treats is all on there too. And yeah, or you can find me in a farm in the middle of Ireland.
Yeah. Hashtag swipe up. Thank you for coming on. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for that. And listen, guys, if you are listening to this, you like this, make sure you like it, share it, subscribe, check out Sinead's page, and boom. I'll see you guys later. Tune in for the next episode.